What's good, y'all? It's Alex Kamunya here, and I'm back with another video. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the #1 financial mistake that people are making in their 20s that's causing them to delay or miss out on financial freedom. Let's get into today's video.
I guess I got my swagger back.
There's another one. I really don't get why people keep doing this. Y'all are literally killing yourselves financially, and then you posting it on social media too. Like, what? Look, the #1 mistake that I'm seeing people that are my age and around my age keep doing is buying a car as soon as they increase their income. This is ridiculous. We got to address this. People need to understand that a new car is the graveyard for the middle class's dreams. I see it time and time again. We go to school, we graduate college, we get a job with a salary, and the first thing we do is go buy a brand new car and finance it. And then people are posting it on social media as if it was an accomplishment. Financing a car is not an accomplishment. Just because you can afford the monthly payment doesn't mean you can afford the car. If you cannot buy it in cash, you can't afford that car. Let me explain why. So let's imagine a scenario, right? You graduate college, you hype, you're excited, feeling euphoric, you get a job with a $50,000 salary. And the first thought you get is, okay, I got some money now. What can I spend this on? One of the first things that's gonna come to mind is gonna be that car. And so you're thinking to yourself now, what kind of car do I want? I can get the BMW, I can get the Mercedes, I can get the F-150, I can get anything. But let's say somehow you convince yourself that, you're not really even on that level yet to buy the BMW or the Mercedes. So you tell yourself, you know what, I'm gonna just go get a Camry, a new Camry, right? So you go to the Toyota dealership and you convince yourself that you're only there to look, right? And you look and you browse and you see the Avalons, you see the RAV4s, you see the Camrys, and you're like, man, that 2021 Camry is looking sweet. And then just like that, the salesman sees you fall in love with it, and he knew from that moment, he was like, it's a wrap, I got him. So you go into the dealership and the salesman asks you, how much do you want to spend per month? And you came in there telling yourself that you didn't want to spend more than $500 per month on this car payment. For some reason, that's the number everybody says is $500. And so the salesman, him being a salesman, he knows you were gonna say something like that, of course, already, right? And so he, goes on his computer, he types up something, he turns the screen and he shows you 3 numbers. I can get you out the door at $24,970, 4.5% interest, and $466 a month for 60 months only. And so now you're thinking, oh man, that's a steal. I didn't want to spend any more than $500 anyways. I'm good with that. So you that just went in there only to look, you are now signing the dotted line for a new car loan for 5 years. So you drive off the lot in a new car feeling extremely euphoric. You soaking up the new car smell. And of course you're gonna go home and put it on Instagram, right? Everybody gotta know that I just got this new car. And then a month goes by, still enjoying it. The new car smells still there. You even happily make that $466 payment for that first month. And then 3 months go by and the feeling of euphoria has kind of worn off by now. I still feel a hint of that new car smell. And then 6 months go by and now that feeling of euphoria is all but gone. The new car smell is pretty much all gone. And then it's time to make that 7th month's payment. So you log into your app to go make that payment and you just realize, dang, I gotta pay this $466 54 more times. So the feeling is gone, but the payment isn't. This is exactly what happens to everybody. You get emotional about buying a car, but you don't think of 48 months down the line when you're still paying on a car that's now 4 years old, $466 a month. One reason this is one of the worst things you can do when you're young is because you have to understand the concept of opportunity cost. Think about how much closer an extra $466 for 60 months will bring you to financial freedom. Let's say you invested that $466 into the market, right? The stock market at 8% interest, right? For those 60 months, you would end up with a balance of $33,992. So in this case, the opportunity cost for buying that new car was about $6,000, right? So I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh, $6,000, that's not a big deal. I'd much rather have the car. Okay, cool. Let's look at this then. $466 multiplied by 60 months is about $28,000. So how much closer will $28,000 bring you to financial freedom, right? Well, $28,000 could very well be put into your first rental property that will generate you $500 in cash flow that can alone pay for that car payment and more. $28,000 can be put into buying a truck that can easily generate you $5,000 per month in cash flow that can pay for 10 cars if you wanted to, right? The point is that $28,000 can be put into any business or asset that can give you financial freedom. But instead you decide to put it to a car that's losing value literally every single day. This is why I preach that young people especially need to be delaying gratification. This is why I still drive the same car that I've been driving since I was 16 years old. It's my Maserati, aka the financial freedom whip. After having graduated with an engineering degree at 21 years old, I could have very well have went and bought the BMW or the Benz or the Tesla or whatever and been happy to drive that, right? And the feeling would have wore off, but the payment would still be here. And I wouldn't be any closer to financial freedom. In fact, the first vehicle that I ever bought was a semi-truck this year that can easily generate $20,000 per month in gross revenue. The second vehicle I bought was a rental car later this year that easily cash flows me $500 per month every single month since I bought it. And look, don't even say it. I already know what a lot of y'all are thinking. Man, does this dude expect us to just walk and take the bus? Look, I don't know what you need to be doing. All I know is that you need to do what it takes to reach financial freedom. Whether that means you buy a cheap, used $5,000 car in cash so you don't have to have a payment for 60 months, or you keep driving the hoopty or the jalopy that you got right now. Whatever it is, that's what you need to do so that you can reach financial freedom. Financial freedom is the bigger picture. Something I always talk about is comfortability versus profitability. Typically, when it comes to this pursuit of financial freedom and finances in general, the more comfortable you are, the less profitable it usually is. So yes, buying that new car right out of college would be extremely comfortable, right? But it's not gonna be profitable as we just talked about. Yes, keeping the same old car I've been driving since high school will not be as physically comfortable, right? I don't have the Bluetooth in there. I ain't got the screen. I don't have a sound system in there. It don't handle like a sports car. However, I don't spend any money on a car payment. Do you know how much surplus money that leaves me to invest back into my businesses and even into myself? It's not a question. On this journey to financial freedom, I always pick profitability. And we can even get more uncomfortable if I wanted to get even more profitable, right? I could very well sell my car and take the bus, right? Because now I would eliminate my insurance and my gas. But I'm sacrificing all comfort. And to me, there is a balance. You have to find that balance. But for me, that balance is definitely on the profitability side of the spectrum. You need to figure out where it is for you if you want to reach financial freedom and retire early. If you're not as aggressive on your pursuit to financial freedom, then you might be more so on the comfortable side of the spectrum, right? If you're fine with having to delay financial freedom for a few more years because you want to have a car, fine, go ahead. I'm not going to stop you. I'm just telling you, you need to be aware of what you're doing and the opportunity costs in that play. And look, don't get me wrong. I'm never going to be the one that's going to be opposed to owning nice things, right? I want to get the Porsche 992 Carrera. I want to get the G63. I want to get the Range. I want to get all those cars, but I want to own them. I don't want them to own me. And me going out and financing them is them owning me. And that's why this is one of the worst mistakes you can make. I mean, honestly, at any time, but especially in your 20s, because now you have to go trade in your time and be a 9-to-5 slave just to make this payment every single month. So you just delayed your financial freedom for the sake of a Camry. This is why I preach the message. You gotta let your assets pay for your liabilities. We don't trade in our time for liabilities. If you don't get anything from this video, at least understand that. We don't trade in time for liabilities, please. One of the biggest reasons that people struggle financially and have money problems is because you make emotional decisions when you come into any sort of money. You get a raise and now instantly you want to go buy a new car. You get a raise and now instantly you want to go get a bigger apartment. You get a raise and now instantly you feel like you can go eat out at nicer restaurants. At the end of the day, just ask yourself, what are you actually buying this thing for, right? Am I buying this to impress people at a stoplight that don't care about me or let alone even know me? That is never going to be more important than your financial freedom. Your financial freedom is the best gift you can give yourself. When you delay gratification, it's not for you today, it's for your future self. That's the key to financial freedom. That's it for this video. If y'all enjoyed it, please leave a thumbs up. I put a lot of effort and time into these videos, so a thumbs up goes a long way in helping that YouTube algorithm know that this is good content that needs to get pushed out there. So I'd appreciate that. But anyways, I'll see y'all in the next one.